All right, guys, welcome back to not another episode of That's Cooked with Steph DeLanda. I know, not an episode of That's Cooked with Steph DeLanda, but we are doing some new shit. We love new shit, guys. I haven't made content for so long for YouTube, and honestly, I do have a pretty good reason. She is an author. Guys, you can get my brand new book, Steph DeLanda, What's the Best That Could Happen, at stephdelandabook.com. But here's a secret. If you go to stephdelandastore.com and use the code SDLYouTube, you will get 10% off my entire store, including my very own book. So guys, stephdelandastore.com, use the code SDLYouTube. 10% off, always.
Meet me where I'm at. Yeah. Step into the jungle. Step into the jungle.
So yeah, guys, we are not doing That's Cooked right now, but I still wanted to make some content for you guys. People have been begging, so we're gonna do things a little bit differently. We are gonna do some topic videos. I get asked so many questions from so many different people, and I figured rather than just constantly doing Q&As on Twitter and Instagram, why don't we turn it into a video series? I don't really have a name for this series yet. I don't know if it needs a name. If anyone has any ideas, comment below. But first, the first question that I would say I probably get asked the most, and I've been asked it my entire career, is how did I become a wrestler? Which, I mean, I get it. I understand why people ask me that. It's very bizarre to be a 28-year-old Australian girl living in Orlando, Florida, and my job is a professional wrestler. So I get it. I understand why everyone asks me that question. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me half the time. But to answer that, we're gonna have to take it all the way back. I mean, honestly, all the way back to my childhood, because that's when my love story with this ridiculous little thing called professional wrestling really started. So yeah, I have an older brother, and he pretty much is the one that, I'm not gonna say he got me into wrestling, because we both watched wrestling as a kid. But we started watching wrestling together, really. And that was like my thing. You know, like my brother had so many different things that he did. And Dean, if you are watching this, screw you, because Dean, my brother, is good at every single thing he tries to do. He's so creative. He went through a phase where he started skateboarding. And of course he was amazing at skateboarding. Surfing, great at surfing. But like shuffle dancing, great at shuffle dancing. Graffiti, amazing at graffiti. Now he's an artist. Like every single thing that my brother starts or tries to do, he's just like nails it. And obviously I tried all of those things too, and obviously didn't nail any of them. But the thing that became my thing was wrestling. And you know, my brother kind of fell out of it for a while, and I did too in high school for a few years when it wasn't cool. You know, wrestling wasn't cool anymore. But I pretty quickly fell back into it, and I found a bunch of friends in high school that all in like from little different cliques, little different groups, but our one thing in common was we all loved wrestling. So we would get to school on a Monday and talk about what happened on SmackDown, and you know what I mean? Like that was our little thing. So my love for it really started in high school. Well, I mean younger, but that's when high school was when I kind of started like thinking like, maybe there's something to this. And I was such a bad student. I was so bad at school, hated school. And I ended up dropping out of school at 15 to be a full-time hairdresser, which is like so funny. People don't know that about me, but yeah, I'm fully qualified. So I do all my own bangs. I do all my own hairstyling and stuff for TV, and I help out other girls if they need it too. But yeah, I was like, shit, maybe like there's something to this. And when I turned 18, of all people, my mom, Sue Balls, was the one that was like, Steph, you've been telling me your whole life that you're going to be a wrestler. Now is the time to do it. What are you doing? And that like shook me a bit because I was like, holy shit, of all people, like my mom is the one that's like making me take that leap, you know? And I'm not the kind of person that is scared or anxious about a lot of things. I mean, I do have anxiety, so that's kind of bullshit, but in a sense of I am not afraid to like take big leaps, if that makes sense. I'm not afraid to try out new shit. I'm not afraid to fail, usually. But at this point in time and with wrestling, I most definitely was terrified of failing. And I think that was why I hadn't started yet. And I didn't feel like I was athletic enough. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think I was skinny enough. I just didn't think that wrestling was ever in the cards for me. And it actually wasn't really until I saw my coach, Madison Eagles, wrestle, who is a legitimate 6'1", super jacked up, in incredible shape, just looks amazing. And I saw her wrestle at a live show and I was like, holy shit, like if she can do this, maybe I can do this. And it sounds so silly because being tall is awesome in wrestling, especially as a girl. But when I was young, you know those like what the fuck is it called? Like the programs that you would get if you go to a live show. I would flick through the programs and all of my favorite divas at the time when I was a kid, all of their stats were like 5'2", 120 pounds or 110 pounds. And I was like, well, like I'm 12 years old and I'm already taller and heavier than that. Like I guess this isn't for me. So yeah, it wasn't until seeing my coach and seeing that like, oh, maybe, you know, this is something that I can do. And then my mom kicking me over the edge and being like, hello, that, yeah, I finally like took the leap and I actually got a personal trainer and I started working out because I knew, you know, as to be a wrestler, I was going to have to be an athlete and I would have to learn how to lift weights and, you know, get in better shape and try and be as athletic as possible. So I started going to the gym with a personal trainer. And then I found a local training school, PWA in Sydney, and I drove like 2.5 hours to do my first tryout. And literally the whole drive there, I was like bugging out, being like, I can just turn around. I can just go home. I don't have to do this. Like, why am I making myself do this? Like, I was so terrified and I was talking myself out of it literally the entire drive. But I'm so glad I didn't. Could you guys imagine if I just turned around and went home? I don't even want to think what my life would be if that's the way that story ended. So I'm very grateful that I didn't give up. The moral of that story is, even if it's scary, one of my favorite quotes, feel the fear and do it anyways. Feel the fear and do it anyways. I was absolutely terrified, but I still did it. The tryout was really hard, but I trained like a crazy person before that, so I got through it. I do remember though, I woke up the next morning and I was like, because the coach, Robbie, who was running the tryout, Robbie Eagles, he said to everyone, he was like, look, you guys are going to be so sore. Your body is going to be so sore. I promise it gets easier. And I woke up the next morning after my tryout and I remember thinking, I was like, if this is how much this is going to hurt every single time, like I love wrestling. I really want to do this. But bro, if this hurts this much every single time, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And thankfully, he was right. Thankfully, it did get better. My body got calloused and got accustomed to it. And then it was off to the races with training and all that good stuff from there. And after, I think, 18 months of training, I had my first match on a show. And yeah, it was off to the races. From the moment I did that first tryout, shit, when was that? Almost 10 years ago, which is crazy to think about. My life has been all wrestling 110% of the way. I wouldn't change it for the world. The journey is sweeter than the destination 100%. And even though there's been a lot of really hard shit, I would say I've managed to find a lot of awesome positives in it too. And I mean, I have lived my dream and so much more. And the coolest part is there's so much more to come. There's so much I haven't done, which makes me very excited. But yeah, that's the story of how I became a wrestler. Guys, I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can find me at Steph Delanda on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and every other social media platform. Guys, I love you so much. Until next time, bye.